All right, here with Wyking Garrett, Africatown Community Land Trust. How are you?
I'm good. Good to be here again, Big O. How about yourself?
Hey, man, I'm surviving. You know what I'm saying? We're pushing it over here. All right, so we got an email today from City Council. I think this from somebody downtown, and it says Sawant introduces budget legislation back in new Africatown affordable housing project on East Yesler Way in District 3. You are quoted quite a few places in this press release, man. Tell us what this is all about.
Oh, man, this is really about, answering the question, are there Black people in the future, right? That's the big question for Seattle, right? What type of future are we going to have here? Is it going to be a world-class city that's inclusive of our communities of the world that have made the city, or is it going to be a one-class city that's exclusive to what we see increasingly white, high-wage tech wealth, earners? So we have a, unprecedented opportunity here where there was a square block of a square block in the Central District on 16th and Yesler, right across from the historic Langston Hughes Performing Arts Center, Performing Arts Institute, and was previously the KEIRO assisted living center that served for many years Japanese primarily and Pan-Asian elders in the community. And the organization had challenges and was, in a situation where they chose to sell, and it was acquired by Bellevue-based developer Shelter Holdings, which was proposing a market rate development, which would really just accelerate the displacement, would not be affordable to most of our community members, definitely not a lot of our creatives that are, working at, the Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute. And community really rallied to say, we no to, this type of, predatory speculative development in our community. And based upon that, the developer, decided to halt the development and has offered to, sell the property so that it can be used as equitable development, and so this release is Councilman Sawant, stood and has, stepped forward to champion this as the critical opportunity that it is for the city to support equitable, heritage-rich, inclusive development, similar to what has been what we've worked on at Liberty Bank Building and now Africatown Plaza. And now we have an opportunity for a square block to be redeveloped. And that's the long term. In the short term, it presents a much needed opportunity for emergency shelter with culturally responsive resources and services to serve our community. We know that our community is highly overrepresented in the population is, those experiencing homelessness. I think there's a direct correlation with the gentrification and displacement and our overrepresentation in the homeless population. And so also, we are not served by our community. A lot of other people are, getting resources in the name of helping, our community, as we see a lot in the nonprofit, but things continue to get worse. We need, services and resources that are, respond to our unique lived experiences, what we've gone through, which has been a lot. So yeah, that's what's going on. I mean, I think it's kind of self-explanatory in terms of the opportunity. What's it going to be? What type of future are we? Are there Black people in the future? And budgets are value statements, right? What do you value? And so this is an opportunity for the city to really put forth again a clear statement that our community is valued and that there is a path being paved towards the future for our community that's called the Central District home for almost 140 years.
Right. And now you talk about people, the budget equals values. Councilmember Sawant is asking for $13.8 million in the 2021 budget. And some of the places in this release that the council member points out is that either it can come from the police budget, slight increase on the new tax from Amazon, or for other major corporations. Could also be funded by restoring the $30 million strategic investment fund to address displacement. This was that the mayor had previously, and it had been eliminated. Do you have a preference where the $13.8 million comes from?
We really don't. I would say that this is why we even call for that $1 billion anti-gentrification displacement fund, so that opportunities such as this, can be seized. Right. There's not very many left. We know that land is at a premium in this city and in the Central District. And so opportunities like this have to be seized. I do think that this is exactly what the community expected and was, really promised. The $30 million strategic investment fund or acquisition fund that was created by the sale of the Mercer mega block would be used for, right, for equitable investments and acquisitions to facilitate affordable housing, anti-displacement projects in the city. And this is also exactly what people are talking about when they're saying, redirecting funds for public safety, right? So when we give people, housing, get people out the streets and get them connected with resources to move forward in their lives, right, that are culturally responsive so that they can become stable economically. This is what makes our community safer when we develop, housing, right? Space for businesses and culture. This is a great opportunity to have a campus that really complements what's been laid down, the legacy of Langston Hughes Performing Arts Institute, right? We have so many of the participants in programs like the summer musical, the legendary summer musical produced by, Isaiah Anderson, that have to now come into the community to participate, right? Because they used to just walk to Langston Hughes and participate, and now people have to come in. So again, affordable housing, affordable home ownership opportunities that Africatown has been working on. These are the things that will, again, allow our community to move, to have a bridge to the future. That's important.
All right. One more question for you. I used to watch entertaining stuff on TV, like Sports Center. These days, I watch the Seattle channel a lot when the city council's in session. And the other day, I caught you on there, and bill number 199905 made its way in front of the city council. That's the transfer of Fire Station 6. Mayor Durkin did her part about 5 weeks ago and transmitted it over to the city council. It looks like they're going to vote on it on Monday, on November 2nd. And it's a 99-year lease that's going to go over to Africatown Community Land Trust for the William Gross Center for Cultural Innovation. Tell us, once the lease is signed, what are some of the next steps for Africatown to get the William Gross Center online?
Yeah, man, it's been a long journey, right, to get to this point where we can, repurpose the former Fire Station 6 as a William Gross Center for Cultural Innovation and Enterprise, and really be a hub to harness, nurture, lift up the genius and brilliance in our community, support our businesses. The first, focus is around supporting our entrepreneurs and business owners in the community that have been hit hard by COVID, right? So that is the critical, first step. And then just getting the programming and opportunities and resources into the space so that our community can continue the legacy of innovation and creativity and entrepreneurial endeavors that the Central District has been as a hub for almost 140 years, since William Gross, who was, again, a developer, entrepreneur, a pioneer back in 1882 when he bought land from Henry Yesler to establish the Central District as a settling place for Black community. And we know the Jackson jazz legacy. We know where hip hop was born. We know the Weedles groove, the funk and soul legacies. We know, the Ishmael Butlers. We know the jazz band. We know all this, greatness that has been in this community, the James Washington Juniors, the, Zenobia Baileys who grew in this community. And we just want to, again, create space where that creativity meets innovation and is able to be a part of the economy and the industry sectors that have grown around us. I mean, this is a city that's, strategically positioned in the global economy around innovation and technology with your Microsofts, Amazons, Expedias, et cetera, et cetera. And we know that same genius and problem solving ability is in our community. And we just want to bring it to the forefront and get it connected with the resources so it can grow and thrive and be part of really a larger Africatown cultural innovation district. So that's where we are, man. It's been a long road, long overdue. The property has been sitting, underutilized for years, right? And so it should be adding to the economic and the cultural vibrancy of the community, as was outlined in many different studies and planning processes that has been done in the Central District, including the Central Area Commercial Revitalization Planning, the 23rd Avenue Action Planning, the Historic Central Area Arts District. All of these things speak to, this use, and we're just ready to get it up and going and bring some of that genius in, so we could bring the next Omari Salisbury's on deck, man. Who's gonna, who you've been an entrepreneur for a long time in this community, right? And you made your way out of kind of no way, right? We want to again take that and be able to bring it in. Your brother Chikundi, with C-Spot, a tech entrepreneur for 20 years in this community, but again, having a hub where we can nurture that energy, I think will be a really have a great impact on our community.
Well, I'm all about incubating young people, man, and showing them a way. Wyking Garrett, Africatown Community Land Trust, thank you for taking the time.
Thank you.